So Dharmendra sir, I think we have around 17 people, so we can start it. I think people will join in the course.
Oh, good. So, let us. We'll have to do this session assuming that people have attended the previous session, because the previous or people should have watched the video of the previous session. So, can we have like a thumbs up or something that you all have watched the previous session, so at least we understand how to set the context. You all can put a thumbs up if you all can say that you've attended the previous session. Okay. So Neeta says she has not seen. So you might find this session a little bit of disjointed. You may not understand the context because we had almost spent 1.5 hours, and today we were supposed to discuss the valuation on the Excel sheet. So you can, if it makes sense, good. You can watch the video after that. Not this video. I'm talking about the previous video. Also is there. You can watch that. Okay. So anyway, let us start with the Excel sheet. Okay. Before the Excel sheet, just to set the context about the medical business. Okay. I just want to show you one slide. Um, you can see this, Senthil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you look at what is a great business, okay, there are a couple of things why you're doing practice. Why are we discussing scale? Why are we discussing so many things? Is because at the end of the day, you can only meet so many patients in a day. You only have those 10 hours in a day. You have 6 days in a week you can work, and that also initially is ideal, but as time passes by, that's no longer ideal. You don't want to work 10 hours a day. You don't want to work 6 days a week. So that leaves you very tired, and you don't get time to do other things that you perhaps aspire to do. So you need to understand how businesses are. So one is when you look at a business, you look at the volumes. Okay, so one thing is there that in our country, we have high volumes, as in we have a lot of patients. It's a highly populated country, okay, and it's a young country. And I don't think in your lifetime there will be a dearth of patients. So health is a area which is going to always be very is a priority area, and it is high growth area. Now, when you say when you look at one is volumes are there, that means more and more patients are there, and their growth is in which area? So across growth, when I say horizontal, means across the nation you can grow. You can grow by having different branches, or vertical when you say you can grow across different strata of society. Okay, there are wealthy people, there are less wealthy people, so there is growth everywhere, and the numbers are also large. Okay, and they are growing. So numbers are large and they are growing. So I don't think any one of you will have any objection to any of these things. When you talk about subscription based or habit, now that is exactly what Opthal also tries to teach you in their programs, that you can have, how do you get your customer to come back? Okay, they can see everything is not cure, it can be preventive. Then you can have, like you can have an optician shop over there where you are selling spectacles. Okay, so those kind of businesses are also means that you can keep getting the customer to come again and again and again. So always it's good to cultivate and build a relationship with customers, especially good customers. So now this is all these things do fall in the in a medical business. These things are all true. It's all possible. And if you have not thought about it in that particular way, one should think. Okay, that because that is the way you can grow your business. Okay. Then comes your unit positive. When we say what is unit positive means that in a medical business, when you have a patient who comes in, gets admitted and is given a bed, you never lose money on a patient. Okay, at the end of the day, the patient pays what it costs, and over and above, he leaves behind some profit. So there is no loss. For example, if you look at businesses like Uber, Ola, Oyo, when they
I
started.
request all of you to mute. There is some
Yeah,
disturbance.
yeah, please, that'll be very kind of you.
Yeah.
It'll help everybody.
I think Dr. Chandra Kumar, let me mute, sir. Yeah, please continue, sir. I think
Yeah,
I'm.
so when we say unit positive means you have to think of businesses of modern days, whether it is a Oyo, it's a Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, all these businesses when they started, they were losing money per customer because they wanted to create an impact and build entry barriers. There are advantages in that strategy also, but that in that strategy you lose money per customer. In the medical business, you don't lose money per customer. Okay, there's no, and second thing is zero burn. As in here, whatever you earn every month based on your practice, you need to only invest a fraction of that into your business normally. Okay, you don't have to really do too much of advertising and burning money to attract people. That is not a part of this business. So these are all the positives. And of course, economic growth. As the economy, we are in a growing economy. Because of the growing economy and the good demographics, you have high volume and the growth is there also horizontally, vertically, everywhere. Now, the only problem that is there with your business or your doctor medical business is scalable. It is not scalable. Okay, if you look at a business like what I do, wealth management, I can I can have a customer in any part of India and I can build a business relationship and the activity happens online. I don't have to move from my city and that person doesn't have to move from his city. So it is so I can scale up at a very no low cost. But when it comes to medical practice, you have to scale up. That means you have to build a hospital. Okay, now when you build a hospital, you scale up. But tomorrow you may want to go to another city. Okay, so you have to build another hospital, which means that the two hospitals can't have two different names. So which means you have to build a brand. Once you build a brand, you can go to multiple cities. So this is in short how you need to look at a business, a practice that you want to convert into a business. Okay. Now, 1840 रुपये total है 1080 again we are getting disturbance. Okay. So the last time when we did the meeting, I'm again presuming that most of the people sitting over here remember what we did last time. In the chat box, can you all write what you remember from last time? Dr. Sahiba and others, can you write what are the learnings that you all took last time? We had a very long session. It was very and it was very conceptual. There were not too many numbers. Anybody remembers anything?
You can unmute also and answer if you want to talk. So basically, I think all of us are bad students. Everybody has forgotten. So
No, it is not bad, students. The point is, you all don't realize that the amount of work you all do. Okay, and why number one, we chose a 9 o'clock session. I'm sure you've had a tough, hard day. You must have met so many patients. Okay, you must be tired. Okay, so and this is happening every day. Okay, so very clearly, that is the reason why you all need to understand this entire concept of scaling up and outsourcing. And so because as a practitioner, this is what's going to happen. You see, you can't, you all spent 1.5 hours with me the other day, and nobody remembers anything. Okay,
Sir, may I speak?
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think the last half an hour of 1.5 hour was the bouncer of all the valuations. And up to 1 hour, we could gather most of the things like it was contrary to our traditional belief how to build a hospital. Like you cannot make a bigger clinic out of a smaller clinic, but you can build a brand. So what are the key factors which actually carries the value? What actually helps you have a better valuation, or it's a team?
I think your the internet
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. He's talking from his car. Okay, so let me. One is we said that collaborate with non-doctors.
Collaborate, yeah.
Okay.
Collaboration was the key
Yeah,
concept,
and I think the
and raising the money
and
at the same.
collaboration. I think the big message last time was doctors will always say, "Oh, I have 4 doctor friends. Let us. We are getting. We'll get together and we'll start something." Okay, so that is the typical way of thinking. I have many doctor friends. That's why I'm telling you all of this because I also. Can you hear me, Doctor Senthil?
Yes, sir, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
So what happens is we always say that a doctor says I want to. I have 5 doctor friends. We'll come together and we'll do something. But I mean, when you want to start a business, okay, it doesn't have to be. In fact, it's a disadvantage to only to have 5 doctor friends and to start something. Okay, that is the first thing you all have to remember. Okay, because whenever you do business, we all have a tendency that these are my 4 friends, I'll start business with 4 friends. But businesses and foreign friendship are 2 different things. Usually, when you start with 4 friends, you'll have problems. Okay, so that is one thing you must keep in mind. I'm telling you out of experience also. It's always good to do things in a professional way and to collaborate with people, professional, and they are likely to be non-doctors if you are setting up a hospital. Okay, they're not likely to be doctors. Doctors can come later on. But to set up a good hospital and a good systems processes, you require a lot of other support. Okay, so we discussed that collaboration is a very important part and you have to scale up. You have to have non-doctor partners. Okay, so these are the some of the stuff that we discussed last time. Then we said that when your dream to build a hospital should not be linear, which means that look, I am a practitioner right now. I am making X amount of money. I'm saving so much. I will save and I will save for the next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. At the end of 10 years, I'll have enough money to build a building and buy the equipment through some loan. And so my dream is 10 years from today. What we discuss is the modern way of doing things is you need to raise capital and you start immediately. You don't have to wait for that long. So that was another important thing that we discussed. One is collaboration, non-doctors. Second is your dream should not be at a later stage. Third is you don't have to build a hospital with your money alone. In fact, you should be paying less money and getting a bigger advantage. There are people who are willing to participate in projects which have good potential, good demand, and where people are able to estimate the cash flows if the system works well. So therefore, you have the whole concept that I have to save all the money and I have to do everything is not the way you would build a hospital. So these are a couple of key things I'm just trying to refresh. Dr. Senthil, would you like to say anything more? Because I was planning to go to the Excel sheet then.
ನಾನು ಜೋರ್ಜಾಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದು
Uh, So I request all of you to mute. So I think, yeah, basically last session was the setting up of the thought process and also because general conventional belief is that you have to earn that money. That is how because everybody does that way. Like I will say all hospitals which are built, either if parents are doctors, the ophthalmologist or the doctor will go and join that practice, or if he's a newcomer, he starts up, he works for some time in an organization, then he starts his practice in a smaller or a decent way. And then after he earns, he moves into a new building. And then, so basically, that is the aspiration for most of the ophthalmologists. 99% of the ophthalmologists do that way. And that we have also told broken that conventional mindset that even owning a building is not necessary. If you're owning the business is more important than owning the building. So you don't have to wait till you gather the capital of say 5-10 crores to own the building. And then that conventional mindset, I think we have broken into a lot of doctors, and many of them have accepted that, and a lot of our colleagues have also understood that it's not really needed to own a building to own a practice. So the second thing is to the thought process of having other people as investors, because doctor is always thinking of, oh, I should own the full practice, I should be the full owner of it. What if I get an investor, will I lose control? All those things are there, which I think is what we are trying to break it down in this session. And what I will anticipate to learn from the session is the small overview of how this is to be done. But end of the day, I think it is always better to have professionals to do that. I think it's just giving you an overview of the whole thing. But basically, if you want to somebody practicing for say earning 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs in a month, and he is thinking of building getting into a larger hospital business, so definitely, I think you need the professionals also to do that. That is something which even before the start of the session, I would like to all the participants to understand that. So yeah, I think we'll one discuss once you complete the session, top
Yeah.
session.
So one more thing was, people like Mark Zuckerberg and Larry Page, all the people who own Google, you'll be surprised that they own a very small percentage of their companies. Because you spoke about 100%, no? So they own less. They must be owning less than 10% of their companies.
Yeah,
Dr. Senthil.
yeah,
Indian businessmen still own about 25, 40%, 25 to 40%. But internationally, they own very little. Even Apple, they don't own this. It's all shareholders. So this is how it is. So we have, and what happens is you can be a owner of something of 100 rupees, or you can be 1% owner of, let's say, 20 crores. Okay, 50 crores. So that is how you have to look at it. If you keep it small and own 100%, nothing happens. If you make an enterprise and even if you are a 5% owner, it's a lot of money. So let's look at the Excel sheet, assuming that people have attended this program last time. And
just to
those,
drive that point of what ownership, that is another conventional, traditional mindset which we have to break because we always believe that oh we should own 100%. But as you said, what is the size of the pie? You expand the size of the pie and own a smaller percentage. That is so.
yeah,
Want to
and
own a 5% of a 100 crore business, or do you want to own 100% of a 5 crore business?
absolutely.
Uh,
And if you have to grow the pie, you will require help of a lot of people. Okay,
correct.
you will never be able to grow the pie alone. So
So
let's look at,
another
yeah,
thing is nothing can be done alone. I think doctors, all the colleagues, participants, one takeaway message they have to take from the session or from all our discussions is that you need a lot of collaborators and partners. You cannot do anything alone. So if you want to do things, you need to collaborate, partner with lot of people. That is another thing we have to understand from the session.
we also last time discussed that mankind per se, human beings, if you look at the Darwin's theory, how people became, how human beings or Homo sapiens became the most powerful people around, and they got control over all the animals and are controlling the world today. Okay, and if you look at it, most of the animals can kill us. Okay, they are stronger than us, but still we control everyone. Is because there was one called even this Yuval Harari also has spoken about it in his book *Sapiens*, that human beings were the first people who could collaborate, who could coordinate. Okay, so today you have a Coca-Cola across the world tasting the same. Okay, and the owner is the same. Similarly, you have McDonald's like that. You have Google, you have Apple. Okay, because everybody is collaborating with everybody. So this collaboration, vision, teamwork, working together is extremely important, and practitioners actually miss it out in their lives. Because if you're a single practicing doctor with a few compounder and a few things, you may spend next 15, 20 years doing that, never realizing that this opportunity was there. Okay, but this is the real opportunity where wealth is created. Therefore, today, if you look at a lens cart which has collected awesome kind of obnoxious money, if you want to say it, okay, or huge amount of wealth they are creating. Look at Zepto, all youngsters. All this is happening because they are actually taking advantage of the leverage that is available today in India because it's a growing economy, it's a young economy, and the next 10, 15 years are looking good. So a lot of people want to expand, and there's a lot of money available. And they're taking advantage of that. And that is why you see so many youngsters are so wealthy that you can't even imagine, fathom that wealth. It is something even we would never dream of those wealth. Okay, so now let's look at a particular example where, let's say, you see, this is an example for conceptual understanding. don't reflect on the numbers. To do a proper valuation of a project, okay, you require to go to specialists. And Dr. Senthil can help you in this, Opthal can help you to do a real study. But this, what I'm explaining you today, right now, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll also not like to drag it too long because you all have had a tiring day. I don't want to drag it too long. Maybe 15-20 minutes we'll finish. But try to understand the concept. Okay, once you understand the concept, and if this group feels that we should again meet, I will certainly make some time for you. But I don't want to drag it too long today, at least for you all. So now here is an example where let's say there's a project like a hospital you want to build, and let's say it costs 6 crores in a small town. And so then what happens is you choose that, out of the 6 crores, 2 crores I'll take from a bank or I'll borrow it as a debt. Okay, the reason is that debt is always the cheapest source of capital. Debt is like 10%, 11%, 9%, at the most 14, 15% private debt. But equity can be equity investor, if somebody is coming and is giving you money, he expects nothing less than 30, 40%. Okay, otherwise he will not come, he'll put his money in mutual funds or somewhere else. So in this particular case, what has happened is we decide that, if we take 2 crores as a loan, we will be able to service it based on our estimate. That we will not be in a situation where we'll have a liquidity crunch and we can't service it. So 2 crores is safe. Let's go for it. But for the rest, 4 crores, I need some friends. I want to present this project to them and show them what they can earn. And hopefully, I will like to get at least 4 more friends. And this 4 more friends, I'm saying, is ideally speaking, non-doctor friends. Okay, you may have one doctor friend, but ideally speaking, non-doctors. Because doctors will contribute in their area. And the bigger part is that when you are the equity contribution, okay, is like, for example, if you look at here in this particular case, we have said that uh, uh, everybody will contribute equally, right, in the project. So 8 into 5 is, so 80 lakhs into 5 is 4 crores. Okay, so everybody, all your friends will contribute 80 lakh each, including yourself. Okay, you are the doctor, you are also giving 80 lakhs. The other 4 who are non-doctors are each giving 80 lakhs. Okay, so that part is superb, right? And they are non-doctors, but because you are the doctor, because you have already proven you are first of all qualified, okay, you have got experience, and because of and you got a name, and because of your name, you are getting people walking into the clinic, which means that you are the magnet. When you are there, business is happening. And to start, you are the most important person. You are like the hero of the whole system. Okay, so because of that, what you tell your friends is that of the 100% stake, I want 32%. Okay, now typically, if you have all our doctors, this negotiation will not happen. Okay, but if you are partnering with non-doctors, it will happen. I'll tell you. Because when you see the IRR, you'll see it happens. But when you have all doctors who are partnering with you, everybody will say, I want, then it is like, 20% each. Okay, but here you can negotiate 32%, 35%, 40% also. Okay, so in this case, we have taken 32%. Now, others will get 17%. So 17 fourths are 68. 68 plus 32 is 100. Okay. Now, what we are assuming is that I'm here, I've taken profit after tax as 1 crore, 100 lakhs. And I'm assuming that this will grow at 20%, okay, for 5 years. And subsequently, it will grow at 5%. That is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Okay, in future, it will grow at 5%. Initially, it will grow at 20%, which is typical because as your pie keeps going bigger and bigger, the rate of growth will start falling because the absolute growth will still be very large. And now this is a very important thing that you have to keep in mind, something called a discount rate. So what is a discount rate? See, if your business was a super business, guaranteed, doing very well, you are very, very bullish that this man will really rock, then you can take a discount rate of even 10%. So what basically this discount rate means is that, um, if I am giving money to you, I should earn at least more than 15% because mutual funds also gives me 15%. So that 68%, those people who have come with you, four of them, each putting 80 lakhs, they had a choice of putting the money in a mutual fund also. So they say, chalo, we are not putting in a mutual fund, we are giving it to you. Okay, but the discount rate could have been much lower also. It could have been, if the business was extremely, extremely powerful, you are a very, very big name, then he says, look, to participate with you, I am okay even if I make 10%. So at least I have to have some ceiling. So I should make more than at least 10% or more than at least 8%. But normally what happens is if you are starting new, you can go with a 15% number. So that's called a discount rate. So this is that rate that gives the guy comfort, the person who's putting money, that this project should at least earn me more than this. Okay, but if I love the project, I can say that I love the project so much that even if I make equal to a fixed deposit, 7% or 6%, I'm still happy to participate because I'm so bullish about this project that this is for me, I'm willing to pay a premium for this project, at least 6, 7% if I earn also. That is a number I will go with because I'm so bullish about it that, see, when you take a discount rate like lower discount rate, like 6%, 7%, if you take a discount rate like that, then basically what happens is the amount of money you're going to, the valuation comes, valuation goes very high if your discount rate is low. Okay, so what basically means the project is very valuable. Okay, it's a high valuation project because the discount rate is low. Now, this concept might, at this point in time at 9:34, for all of you who are uninitiated, might be little complicated, but try and understand. It's basically the number that gives you comfort. So, if Dr. Saiba is doing a project and she comes to me for me to invest in it, I will say that, look, I want to discount this project by a 15% because if I'm giving you money, I need to earn at least more than 15%. Okay, if I earn less than 15%, I'm not happy. So at least let's start discounting by 15%. Okay, so that is how you look at it. Now here, if you look at the years, first year we make 100 lakhs, then we make 120 lakhs, this is a 20% growth that we have seen over here. This is an assumption. Okay, this is how you build a project. This is I'm assuming now you based on how will you assume the based on the current amount that you are making, the number of beds you have, based on the number of beds you want to increase, based on the number of patients that are coming and you are unable to service them. Okay, you may think that so many patients are going back. If I had another doctor, maybe I would have got them in. So you'll make certain assumptions and let's assume that this 20% growth is happening. Now, this is called present value. So every amount is discounted by that discount rate. So we had a discount rate over here of 15. Just 1 second. My dog is barking over here. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So now, what is happening is, when you look at profit after tax and you look at the present value, it is this amount that we took as a discount rate 15%. Here it is getting discounted by 1 year. Okay, here it is getting discounted by 1 year. Then here it gets discounted by the same amount by 2 years. So what it basically means that 100 lakhs 1 year from now is equal to 87 today, is equal to 87 lakh today. Just excuse me 1 second, and I'm having this. Shreya, can you please take him away and close the room otherwise? Okay, sorry, I'm very sorry. So now 100 becomes 87. 100 at the end of this year, 1 year, is 87 today. 120 at the end of 2 years is 91 today. 144 at the end of 3 years is worth 95 today. Okay, and 173 at the end of fourth year is worth 99 today. And 207 at the end of fifth year is worth 103. Basically, this is time value of money. So because you are earning more money doesn't mean that in today's time, today's rate, at a discounting of 15%, today, all this that you are adding over here, if I were to add this, let's say I were to add this. So let's say I was supposed to add this. Okay, this is 744. But what I'm saying is this 744 is not, the value is 474 because time has elapsed. Okay, time is money. Okay, so this 744 actually is equivalent to 474. So if you look at the present value of 5 years of cash flow in this is nothing but 4.74 crores, not 7.44 crores, which is what you will see in the number. But in the true sense, if you look at time value of money and you come to a present value, that is today's value. See, you are taking a decision today with whoever are your partners. Today you have to take a decision. You have not seen 5 years from today. So you have to bring everything back to today. So today this is 4.74 crores worth. Terminal value is what? Now, after the fifth year, we are assuming that this business will continue to grow at 5%. Okay, now we can't draw an Excel sheet that keeps going till eternity, 20, for 300 for 25, 35, 40, 50 years. So there is a formula. You use that formula, you will get an idea that if the business is going to grow by 5% in the long term with a discounting rate of 15%, what happens is you get a terminal value, and this terminal value is 21.77 crore. But now again, this terminal value has to be discounted to today's amount. So today, what is this 21 crores? Is it 21 crores today? No. Today, it is 10.82 crores. So today, your terminal value is 10.82 crores. Your present value of your cash flows in the first 5 years is 4.74 crores. Together, your valuation is 15.57 crores. Okay, so this is how you need to look, how it is done. I'm just explaining you conceptually. We can take questions after this also. Now, if you have a brand equity, if you're a doctor of reputation, okay, you can assign percent of this 15.57, you can assign 5% as a premium for your brand value. This can be 10% if you're a very big brand. If you're an unknown brand, you're just starting, you can put it as 0%, 1%, 2%. And if you're an extremely famous person, it can even go up to 15%, for 10 to 15%. This is your brand value premium. Recurring community. If your business is such that people who come to you are likely to come to you again and again and again, which happens in a doctor's case. Okay, and further, if you build a model where you are looking at preventive maintenance, where you are looking at opticals, okay, that means your chances of getting that person coming back to you is high. So if that is the nature of the business, you can add 10% premium to that. Okay, so this is another factor. Then profit stability, what I told you is low cash burn, no cash burn, unit profit. I said no, every unit makes money. In your business, every unit makes money. So similarly, you are not burning, you're not losing per patient, plus you're not burning cash. You can attach 10% over here. Okay, now founder doctor reputation. So here was your brand. So if you build a brand, corporate brand, okay. Otherwise, your reputation. So you can, if you want to take one of these two, then you can call this zero also. Okay. Okay. And then capital discipline. So you can build a business where you say that 50% of the money that I make, I will keep it in the business.
No,
Okay.
it's
That means
pi.
you will
Funny. What
invest that
infinite
50.
number of places? Is there anything else behind it? Any other file on the stick?
And
Anything?
we
No.
have this.
Where'd you get it?
Yeah, thank you. So what we are saying over here is that as a business, whatever your business is making, you keep 50% or 40% of some amount of money in the business. So it gets invested in the name of the business. You don't pull that money out, which means that your system is becoming cash rich. Okay, so if that is the discipline you want to follow, you can put a 10% over here. Okay, so the next point is proprietary IP. So if you are creating videos or you're creating some IP, okay, in your business, that takes efforts. Okay, it takes it takes efforts, it takes expertise. Okay, you're putting hours behind it. You can put a valuation to that also, like say 25,000 rupees per hour. Okay, so you can put a valuation to that also, and then you get a so these are unlockers. These are the additional value, this plus this. If I take the total of all of this, is a simple formula. You are adding 6.2 crores more. So what was the valuation? 15.57. How much I added? 6.2 crores. So total valuation is 21.77 crores. So a building you are planning to build with in project investment of 6 crores with all of this, if you have a reputation, you are able to attract people, you already have a system, an establishment which is 10, 15 years old or 5 years old. If all of that is there, then although your immediate project cost is 6 crores, your valuation is 21 crores. Okay, this is how you present to your client. Now, what is happening is, now let us look at the 5 years journey. You're showing your clients a 5 years journey. It's not 5 years journey, you're adding terminal value. So it's the overall journey beyond 5 years. Okay, so now when you're looking at overall journey, what is the project cost? Is debt was 2 crores, but equity was 4 crores. We are looking at profit after tax. So tax has been accounted for. Okay, so we look at 4 crores. So here is your negative 4 crores because I am putting the money in the business. That is negative. But the business is giving me 100, 120, 144, 173 and 2391. This 2391 comes from terminal value. 2177 over here. I think there is some, this 2177 is added to the 5th year. Therefore, it is 2391. It is added to 207. Okay, so if you see the formula over here, you will see the formula here. It is added to it. Okay, so you get 23 crores. Okay, this is not the present value. This is the actual amount that you learn. It's not the present value. Okay, over here. Now look at now if you put an IRR formula over here, this project is worth giving you an internal rate of return of 60%. So now you'll understand, if I put money in a mutual fund, I'm expecting 15%. But if I go to this project is worth 60%. Okay, now look at from the doctor's point of view. The doctor took a larger share. Okay, so doctor put the same amount of money as the partner, see, 80 lakhs each. But the doctor out of 100 takes 32. But individual, each of the partner gets only 17. Okay, I hope Dr. Senthil, you're with me on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, each of the partner gets 17. So you are taking the a larger share. Okay, because you are taking the larger share throughout. So this, whatever the project is giving, you are taking a larger share. Therefore, your internal rate of return is 82%. So overall it is 60%, but your is 82%. They are earning little less. Their rate of return is 53%. Okay, you are making 82, they are making 53% each. Now, if you present it to any investor saying that the IRR is 53%, or even if the IRR is 45%, okay, or 40%, now that IRR he will compare with all the other options he has with his money. If he puts his money in a mutual fund and takes very high risk also, it will still give yield 18% to 20% at the most. Okay, rather 15%. But here in your business, he's making 53. Even if this is 45, it's good. 40 also is good. This is how the business person, this is how the person who is an investor, when you approach and show him all of this, he's likely to put in this 80 lakhs of rupees. Okay, the moment you have 4 people putting 80 lakhs of rupees, okay, and you are putting in the 80 lakhs, that means most of your money, okay, you are recovering from others. Okay, earlier what would have happened is you would have ensured that you pay this entire 6 crores either from your own funds or borrowing from partially. Okay, you would have done it that way only. Now, though that kind of thinking, one is your project will happen after 5 or 10 years. Okay, you don't start immediately. So you lose those years. See what happens when you lose years. When you lose years, this is what happens. Okay, so you will lose years, and our own age is also something important. If today I am 40, 10 years from now I'll be 50. If I'm already 45, I'll be 55. At 55, I may not enjoy building all of that. But at 45, I might enjoy. So what we are doing it, whatever you would have done in the future, we are now bringing it to the present day. Okay, and we are also taking leverage. People have capital and they are looking for good projects. where they can put the capital. So you have to do number one, you have to have a clear vision, a clear business plan, okay, based on something that you have already done. Okay, and then you have to build a project in great details. This is, as I said, this is a structure. It's just a concept for you to understand. But if you reach out to Opthal and you really want to do something, one has to invest money in professionals who will come and do a thorough audit, thorough planning. They know the details of projects, because it is not as simple as 4 or 5 things. There will be so many elements. You have to do an audit of all of those elements. Okay, and then you build a report. A report must be it will be a very thick report. It's not going to be something in 2 pages or 3 pages. So you'll require professionals to do all of that, and that Upthal can help you. But the advantage of all of this is this: at the end of the day, you do a project not with your money, with other people's money. Number one. Second, the project that would have happened 10 years from today, you can do it next year itself. Okay, in 1 year's time. Okay, and uh, because you do it immediately, you get, and you have so much of time ahead of you, you are in a business which is going to give you around 82% IRR, or even if it is 75% IRR, high return business. Now, if they all were doctors, then this would have been 60%. Okay, you'd have to share it with everybody. Okay, equally. So here it is 82%. Because, and so this is why, and again, you may do a project not with 4 people, you might require 10 people. So all of that we'll have to figure out. But this is a concept that you need to know in today's world. Okay, this is the reason why your Agarwals and all these guys, they are paying such high prices to acquire individuals, is because they understand this. They understand valuation. Because they understand valuation, when they pay you 20 crores, you sell it to them so happily. But imagine how much of money they must be making out of that transaction. What must be their estimate? Just imagine. Okay, so this is very important for doctors to understand, and also to understand that this is not things that one can do alone, and you definitely will require professional guidance and help. Okay, it is no mean feat to do this, but it's very important to be sensitized and to understand that there is a science behind building. It is not just like medical is a science. It's a science behind building an organization and a hospital. It is not simply making a building and buying equipment. Also, when you have to buy equipment, Dr. Senthil can guide you how to buy equipment. Okay, there again, the way you deal with your money in buying that equipment is what immediately has an impact on your IRR. If you buy it in a wrong way, okay, your IRR will drop. If you buy it smartly, under guidance, your IRR will go up. But for all of that, you need to appoint professionals. That's all I have to say. And I'm open to take questions right now. As I promised, I don't want to drag this on for too long. 34 doctors have had a very tiring day today, and I don't want to drag it for too long.
A few more inputs. Basically, one thing is about the 32%. I think Dharmendra sir has already said that these percentages are arbitrary. You can even negotiate for 50%. You can even negotiate for 60% based on the investor's potential and investor, whatever is your capability. And second thing is, even if you don't have that 80 lakhs initially, let's say you have only 20 lakhs with you, but you can still become a part of it. You say that investor to give that 60 lakh as loan to the company. Whatever your contribution, you can get it as a loan to the company, and then the company repays the loan. You don't take it, after that the profits are divided. So that is also another, because there was a good model in Andhra where there was a doctor who started investing in other eye hospitals. They used to, whenever a new doctor comes, he used to invest, like let's say 2 crores, he invests the 2 crores. Doctor puts in say 20 lakhs, but both of them will have 50-50 partnership in the hospital. The doctor gets a salary, and then whatever profits come, the doctor takes 50% of it. So that way, that group grew to almost 10 hospitals. So that unfortunately, the founder had a health issue, then he stopped the thing, and he is now no more. But that group has developed that way. So you don't really, if you see the history of people who have made money, So it's not that they have had their own money. So there are multiple ways to raise that money and grow as quickly as possible. So even if you don't have 80 lakhs also, there is always a possibility, okay, let's you put only 20, remaining 60 can come as loan from the investors. Still you own 32%, or you can even negotiate for 50% or 49%. So all those things are always possible. So this is like, I think, a very thought-provoking or eye-opening kind of a session for the doctors, and thinking about, because most of the time we don't grow because we always try to go in the conventional pathway. We think, okay, everybody has done this way, so I should do this way. But why have only 3, 4 people created those large corporate eye hospitals is because they have thought unconventionally. They have thought that it's possible to get money from investors and scale up the business. So that,
Actually, Dr. Senthil, this is the convention what I presented.
yeah,
When you do it yourself, it's unconventional.
correct. But we always think that that is the way it should be done because all the other people are doing it. So
No,
that is,
this is the right way. If you look at all the big brands, big companies, Tata, Birla, Reliance, all of them work on these kind of models. So they
yeah.
don't do it. There's no other way of doing business.
Yeah. So maybe I think we should open up for questions.
Yeah, if there are any questions we can take, I'm sure. At least, can you all at least mention in the chat box whether you all have understood, or at least you all understood 50%. 100% at the end of a retiring day on a dry subject like this is not easy. Okay, but at least 40-50% have you all understood? Okay.
Sir, thank you, sir, for quite a lot of new ideas that I came to know. My question is 4 CR enough for a full-fledged, let's say, eye hospital?
No, not at all. As I said, that number is only for you all to understand the concept. That number is very arbitrary. Okay, obviously not. If you are building, depending on the size, sometimes it costs 4 crores to buy a flat in Mumbai. Okay, so building a hospital can be much more than that. It can be 15-20 CR. It can be 80 CR, 100 CR also. But the point is, what is important is you need to understand the concept.
Yeah, the number is just for you to understand the model. It can be 2 crores, it can be 20 crores, or it can be.
It can easily be. It can be 200 crores also.
And sir, the unequal equity that the founding doctor gets, is it after the unequal equity, the doctor is also an active employee and he takes a salary also in the whole system?
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you will be getting a regular salary because investment is
Yeah.
different, and you have to get a market salary also. That is.
You see, when you do a company, you are a stakeholder of the company. It is like you are living in a flat and you bought the flat for 2 crores. Today it is worth, let's say, 7 crores. Now you are living in the flat happily because that flat is valued at 7 crores. And if required, you can sell it off. Okay, when you build a hospital, you take a salary and all that you will do, okay, based on your cash flows. But the very fact that you own 32%, like in this case, of an equity which is so well valued, if tomorrow some new doctor comes and he says, look, I want to join you, you can sell 2% to him or 3% to him or 5% to him at a very high price. And that is how you earn that way.
See, what you have to see, basically, what you have to understand is just like we are having this practice and expertise and everything, there are people with money. Maybe there are so many people with a lot of money in your own city who's looking at good investments. So only thing is you need to create the plan and propose it to them. And then they might be interested in investing in you. So only that is the so basically our mindset is, so will people invest in me, but on the other hand there are also people with lot of money who wants to invest in good ventures, and particularly doctors are always the very credible profession, so people are very happy to associate with doctors, very happy to invest in hospitals. So only thing is you need to identify and you need to have a solid planning for that and reach out to the people with a proper backup from a good financial team for the whole thing. So any other question like,
Sir, I have a question.
yeah, please.
So, sir, this is means what should be the current practice for means thinking about this kind of model? Means is it applicable for only the larger practices, or
No,
anybody can venture into this?
that is exactly what is the purpose of today's session, is that sometimes you're a single doctor and you'll say, oh, I can't dream of a 50 crore project. Okay, but the purpose of today's presentation was, if you are a good doctor, you have a good name, and you are limited by 10 hours a day and let's say 5 or 6 days a week. You can't expand beyond that. Although there is a lot of patients and the demand is very high, but you are an individual, you can't do. So you have to create an institution. Now, when you create an institution, even if your name is good and you know your work well and you got experience, you can dream of a 50 crore project. Okay, because there are other people who are willing to put money. So that's precisely the reason we are discussing, is that you don't have to be a very wealthy person to have a big dream. If you build a good project, you have a good name, and this is where your actual qualification of being a doctor, from where, and your background and your experience, this is where you encash it. Okay, because when you have a good
Okay.
name and people come to you, that people want to be partners with you. And if your name is so good and you're already drawing patients, that means if I am going to invest money with you, I am relaxed because your name is so big that anyway I know today also you're getting so many patients. Then I'll put money.
And many times your patients might only become investors. There are so many of these good people who come as patients. They might also become a good investor for you. So only thing is, you need to have this long-term vision that, okay, I want to create this large practice, and then with employing doctors, and I need to create an institute. Once you have that vision, automatically with the support of right people, with all the good understanding of the finance part, definitely it should be possible to raise money, because nobody started big. Everybody started as a small organization, and then they grew into these large enterprises. Only thing is the change of mindset, and no, they had the smartness to have this knowledge, learn this from other people, which we are trying to now educate our group of doctors.
And in any case, see, if you have a dream and you want to start something right now, okay, where do you start talking? Now, supposing you want to collect 5 friends and you're planning to do something, and now you're a single practitioner. Okay, how do you start the whole discussion? So this is the way you start the discussion, based on the patients you are getting, based on
Okay.
your estimate how much I'll get. So you do an idea, some kind of a mental calculation and put on paper. Now, but when you are trying to raise money, people want to see this kind of a calculation.
Okay.
See, the
Got
other thing you have to understand is you need to let go of owning that 100%. This is my practice. I will own everything. I will do everything. So you need to change that mindset and allow other peoples to also become a part of it, invest in it, collaborate with you. That is when you actually grow. I think Dr. Chetan Parekh had a question. Sir, can you unmute and ask it directly, sir? Like you typed it, but if you can ask it directly, yeah.
Saying I'm planning to start in a fully owned hospital. How can I invite other investors? And yeah, like this only. You'll have to see, you again. You will have to get in touch with Dr. Senthil Optal, and I think if it is getting into a discussion of your idea which you already formulated in your mind, it's better to do a one-on-one with Dr. Senthil, and then one can figure out as to how you're going to invite people, because then you have to put your project on paper. What idea, how big the hospital is, what ideas you have. You have to put it on paper and then work a valuation for it. Now, it's not as easy as using this Excel sheet. This Excel sheet will give you an idea. Okay, but to really understand the valuation, you have to again go to people who, like Dr. Senthil, can help you in that.
See,
Actually, I
yeah.
don't require investment, but should I invite others, other persons?
100%, 100%. 100.
Okay.
You saw that difference, in the IRR of the doctor, in the example we gave. And if that doctor was taking 32% stake, if you can keep a 60% stake with you, your IRR will go over 100%. And if you do, and the other thing is, you all have to realize that in this particular example, there was one doctor and 4 friends. Now now there is a risk, right, Dr. Parekh? When you are starting a business, a hospital, nothing is guaranteed, right? There is always some risk or the other in anything we do in life. Now, if you do it all by yourself, you are owning 100% of the risk. Okay, but the moment you have 6 people, 7 people, then you are one of the people who is having the risk. Okay, you are sharing the risk, mitigating the risk because other people are also bearing that load with you. Okay, so which makes it easy for you. And second thing is, you don't have to put all your personal wealth into the project because that is like harakiri, it's like committing suicide. Okay, so if you let's say you have built personal wealth of 15 crores and now you're going to put 10, 12 crores of that into your project. Oh, that's the worst thing to do. You should never do that. You should always put less money, raise money, because you want other people to take the risk also. And if your project works very well, even that percentage that you are holding, 32, 35, 36, that will give you enough and more returns. Like in this case, 80% returns.
See, apart from money, the investor is also going to bring in a lot of things like network, contacts. Investor might be a big
Expertise also, no?
expert,
Expertise in his area.
and he will be guiding you. He will have a lot of complementary things. Like you may be having a fear to open a second center, but the investor can give you that comfort. He can always handhold you. So there are so many other advantages apart from money also when you get in an external investor. So generally we are tuned to think about the disadvantages, but there are advantages also.
No, there are many, not advantages. You can't do it alone. You will require investors. You will require people. Actually, it is not even an option. You would require if you really want to do it fast and be successful at it.
So
Sir, one more question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So suppose the project report is ready, what is the like who do you approach? And is it like angel investors, VCs,
No. Why?
university? How do you find?
It depends on the cost of the project. Like in this particular case, 80 lakhs rupees. 80 lakhs rupees, you can approach your friends also. And second thing is, supposing you are building a hospital, okay, you'll have somebody who is perhaps in the building business and he wants to be part of it. He could be a patient of yours. Okay, so 70, 80 lakhs people have not to invest. For example, if you're investing in a AIF, the alternate investment fund, in mutual funds, you need to have minimum 1 crore. Without 1 crore, you can't invest in an AIF. Okay, so 70, 80 lakhs, 50, 60 lakhs. Now here we took the example of only 4 friends. You can go to 8 or 10 friends. Okay, then per person it becomes like a 50, 60 lakh investment. Initially, this is how you have to look for people. Angel investor and all that, you have to go if your project is 100, 200 crore, 300 crore, then you go to them.
Yeah, it depends on the type of amount of money you need. So basically, if it's a small project, you cannot directly get into a VC or a private equity.
So who is an angel investor? Angel investor is a person who is aggregating many 10 crores, many 80 lakhs together. Okay, he has 20 people willing to put 1 crore each. So 20 crores. Okay, so they are what? They are angel investor funds, they are aggregators. And then they will put their money, whatever money they collect, they'll put in multiple projects and you will be one of those projects.
In
So
fact, if many doctors are willing to undergo this thing and willing to have this dilution and all, we can even form a fund where there are so many senior ophthalmologists who have got extra capital. We can create a fund for ophthalmologists only, and that fund can invest. There are so many options to do. Only thing is we need doctors who have that open mindset and doctors who are ethical, who will be sticking on with the
if you have a good project, sir, I don't think first build the project. You will get in a country like India today. Okay, you will get investors. That should not be a problem.
Yeah.
And one can once you reach that level at that point, no, then you'll figure out how to move ahead from there. That's not a issue.
Yeah. So good. I think we have had 32, 33 people who have stayed till the end of the session.
So may I ask one question?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
please,
please.
please ask.
Suppose like we already have our own hospital, and if we want to start a only a LASIK center, which is slightly um, nearby to the existing center only, and for that LASIK center, if we get one silent investor like non-working partner, something like that.
Yes. So if you saw
So
that,
how much?
I'll tell you
How
now.
much?
And now,
Yeah.
now you'll understand the concept also. You
Yes.
are already having a hospital. You are already an established name. Okay. So now
Right.
that discount rate we took at 15%, if you remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go back here.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So let me go back to that. Yes. Now, if you are a very well established, you can suddenly drop the discount rate. Let's say drop it to 10%. Okay. Now you see how the project changes. The doctors making 100%, others are making 70%. Now, what is happening in your case, because you are already established and you are doing, and you have got so many years of experience, you already have a hospital, already so many patients. Now, your LASIK center, anybody who's investing will believe that the probability of success is far more than failure. Okay, so then the discount rate can be further dropped. And when the discount rate gets dropped, look how the things change. So that is exactly what I was trying to explain, because I don't know individually each one of you. Some people may be sitting alone in a single this dispensary kind of a thing, hospital, and some people may be having a larger hospital. Okay, so it depends. So if you already have a hospital, it's already, let's say, 8, 10 years old, already you have a brand value, then naturally this discount rate will be changed and your project becomes very attractive for people.
Now, actually, what Dr. Amit is asking is a new LASIK center he wants to start where he wants to get external investors. So you can get it
He
only
should.
you need to create.
What I'm saying is he should. I mean, without your putting too much of money, you'll be able to raise the money.
Yeah. Only
So,
thing is
so,
you
so
need to
like
create the center.
I will be the working partner, and he will be just an investor, a silent non-working
Yeah,
partner,
yeah, yeah. He will be a
investing
silent.
from some other city.
No,
So how much he will be expecting
but generally
as a return?
investors will also want you to have a skin in the game. So they will also want you to invest little bit amount of money at least. You cannot be like 100% working partner.
Okay.
No, no. His question is he wants a silent investor.
Hmm.
So let's say whatever the cost is, doctor, you don't want to invest anything
No, no, no,
in
no.
that
The
last.
investment from both the side. But
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
be
yeah,
investing and working, and he will be
yeah.
just
Yes,
investing,
yes, yes.
sitting at the other city.
So he will get a salary for working and he will get the
No, he can, sir, he can just be an investor also.
Okay.
yeah.
He can just be an investor also. If he is, if he, let's say you're giving him 10% stake at a valuation, he can just buy it. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He can buy it. Only thing is, when you have, see, when you have less number of investors, let's say we're talking about 8 or 10 or 15, that you need to look around who's interested, your friend circle, this, that, you get, and then you make
So
make some
now
presentation.
now you got this.
Institution also can invest. Okay, so I
No,
say,
actually, I'm just giving you the real example. It is not just these things. It's a real, like one of my friend. He's my childhood friend, and he's having a lot of capital money and these things. So that money is lying with him just like ideal. So he said that, hey, you would have told me earlier before starting your hospital, I would have invested. Then I
ah,
just gave him. That's it. Sooner or later, I'm just also going to start a LASIK center also. So he said, do not ask anybody for any money. Just I'm a single investor is enough. Whatever money you want, you will be working. But I'm not going to come to Indore and to see how much you are performing all these things. I'm sitting at Ahmedabad and going to invest, being a silent partner. So what kind of return?
So you
Something like
have
that. So is it workable? Like, can I go ahead
yeah,
further
yeah,
discussion?
why not? In fact, you should. You're lucky. You already have a person. Only thing is, you at the end of the day, say today he's saying I want to put money, but when you go back and take the money from him, you will have to have a project report and you have to show him roughly what
Correct.
kind of returns he will get if he's with you. Because see, unlike a mutual fund where
So there, so in this scenario, being a silent partner also he must be expecting around 30-40%, right? As you rightly said.
easily. Because
Okay,
please understand, when he is putting money with you in your project as an equity shareholder, number one, he is not getting liquidity. Okay, it is not like mutual fund that you can just go to the company and do a redemption. Okay, and
correct,
you'll get the money. So here he is putting money which is going to be locked for a long time till you start giving him dividends. Okay.
correct,
And tomorrow, let's say he wants to exit. Okay, again he has to find somebody else who will buy it. So
right.
there is no market which is so deep and so wide where you can just put it over there and you can buy it like we buy Reliance shares and all these things. So why they expect this 50% returns is precisely because their money gets locked. Okay, second thing is in the course of things, if by chance you get headwinds and things don't go right and the project doesn't really do well, he's lost his money because he's taken that risk. So therefore, equity investors always expect to earn decent, at least 30%, 40% returns and if, from for their investments.
So, sir, just to further,
So basically, yeah. Before you ask
yeah,
what you
sure.
use, now you have the idea, now you have the person to invest also. So what is lacking is somebody to structure all this model and convince your investor, make the agreements, everything. And I think we can always help you out with that. That is not an issue.
Great, sir. Thank you.
So I think Dr. Chetan Parekh had a question like if he gets a new investor, what happens to the TPA, the insurance agreements and all? See, basically, if you have a private limited company already, the investor comes into that private limited company. So your the company name doesn't change. So the MOUs shall continue unless you are forming a new company. If already you have a private limited entity, it's not a problem to get a new investor.
That is the reason you do it like that. No, you want to build a legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy means that stays with you, that stays after you also.
So that is why we advise that you start a private limited company rather than a LLP or a proprietorship.
So I think people must be tired. It's 10:14.
Last. No, not any questions, sir.
Please,
But I
please.
like the concept, and I thank both Dr. Dharmendra sir and Senthil sir to give him that instead of revenue, the valuation is more important because always we compare with our friends how many you have operated, what is the revenue. But this new concept like valuation has opened
Absolutely.
the mind of many people.
Absolutely.
If you run a
Uh,
hospital, if you run a clinic, you are only creating income. But if
your
you run an organization,
Just today I wrote an article that profits is like your girlfriend and valuations is like your spouse. Okay, so where you want to live for long with somebody, long journey, then it is valuation. When it is immediate joy, it is profits. So finally, this is the just an analogy, just to get you a perspective. But it's very important to understand that we get lost throughout our lives chasing profits. What I do today, what I earn today from my sweat. Okay, so so we are nothing like, it's just like we are a worker. Only thing is we are a highly paid worker. And the people who are getting rich today in the ecosystem, like you see the Lenskart and all these people who come in Shark Tank, who are dealing in hundreds of crores. Okay, why are they dealing in hundreds of crores? Is because they are understanding the valuation game. And when you understand the valuation game very well, you actually focus on building. You stop focusing on practicing.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
no.
True, sir. True.
So today,
See,
Dr. Senthil is focusing on building Opthal. Okay, because his joy is building Opthal, providing all doctors a particular place to go to, like an institute. Okay, so his focus is on building Opthal. Okay, so moment you look at the valuation, you are going to look at building. And the building and practicing, I am trying very hard to talk to many practitioners to help them understand the difference between the two. Because when you are practicing, you have no exit value. Okay, your exit value is zero. But when you are building, you are creating legacy wealth. And that is the real wealth.
See, and one more thing is, I don't know if you, one request from my side is our Aftal conference is in January. So we really, really wish all the doctors to take out time to come for those 3 or 4 days, because you'll be able to meet people like Dharmendra sir in person and have a lot of discussions. You'll also be able to meet similar minded doctors. So only thing is, many times our doctors, our colleagues, they don't want to invest the time. So but that is, I think, something worth investing, and we'll be very happy to have a lot of response for the conference. And this conference is in January in Mumbai. So we have planned it in Mumbai in January 9, 10, 11, 12. So the details for registration is in our website oftal.in. So I'll be very happy, and I sincerely wish that all of you attend that, so that you gain a lot of change in mindset. It's not only for promoting my conference, but basically also to understand and meet people, network. All these things are very important if you really want to grow. And there are many people who have started attending right from 2018. Now I'm happy to see that many of them have scaled up to 8 branches, 10 branches, having a turnover of 30, 50 crores. Somebody is almost reaching 100 crores now. So would like you to take it as an opportunity to invite all of you personally to Oftal 2026 conference. It's in Mumbai on January 9th to 12th. And if you're not yet registered, please do register. I'm expecting at
See, there's one more thing I like to. There are 28 people right now, and all of you are doctors. And I know that if you are a good doctor, you're working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. Okay. And when you build something like this, why do you build? You build so that you're building an automatic machine, which is a wealth creator, which is treating more patients. Okay. But it is saving you personal time. So I'll just like to show you one thing, that when you build a time block, okay, this is a kind of time block over here. See, look at this time block. Okay. This is how you have 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. you do things for yourself, exercising, reading. Then you have a block which is free for meetings, and then you have a block which you want to work. So you can build such blocks, and I'm sure after seeing this particular block, most of you all will want to do something like that. Now, to do something like that doesn't mean that you are going to sacrifice your practice, because if you start sacrificing practice, I will not work 10 hours a day, I'll work 5 hours a day, you're losing money. Okay, I'll work 5 days a week, not 6 days. One day you lost money. Now you don't want to get into this game. You want to make even more money than this, more wealth than this. Okay, you want to not only have 10 hours a day, you want to have 100 hours a day. Okay, and you want to have not 6 days and 7 days in a week, you want to have 70 days in a week. Now, how will you do that? You can only do that by scaling up. Okay, and when you scale up and you build an engine, then you can have free time, and you can design your time the way you want to design. Okay, and without losing wealth, in fact, multiplying wealth. So that is the end objective. It's actually a way in which you can enhance the quality of your own life without compromising your profession, without compromising the service you provide people, without, in fact, expanding that.
So if there are any other one last question, we can take and close it. So if there is any question, we can take it, or even a feedback or your suggestion or input. Okay, I think everybody is tired. So
everybody must be tired. Thank you so much.
No, sir, it's a really eye-opening session, sir. And I would say कि doctors are bad businessmen actually. That's my perception of me. Yeah.
no, it's not only doctors, people who have the financial understanding, they are smarter. So because we are too much focused on the clinical part, we are not focusing on this. So basically now we will be very happy even if one of you understand this full concept properly, and then if you can start thinking about growing and investment and how to scale it up and creating a valuation for yourself, we'll be very happy.
And
Sir,
sometimes
I saw this Asian Institute of Gastroenterology last year, sir. And my thinking was how he has such money इतना पैसा है उनके पास, so इतना build किया है, तो like that he built that hospitals.
No, he didn't. Nobody needs to have money. He had the vision and he had the model to get money from other people. So basically,
Absolutely.
nobody comes with their own money. Even SRM, this educational, if you see all the educational institutions, they literally started with nothing. They literally started with zero, but the bank was giving them loans and they were purchasing properties. They were creating the institutions. And then within 30, 40 years, those institutions have grown to huge enterprises, maybe valued at billions of dollars. So somebody can do that is because he had that understanding, he had the risk-taking capability, he had the vision, and they were also willing to approach people for investment, and they were willing to dilute equity, all those things. So basically, it's the understanding and thought, my changing your thought process.
You know something, it's it is an irony that the founder actually, if you have a vision, you are taking the least risk. Because see, what will you do? You will raise money from the bank, you will raise money from people, okay? And let's say it doesn't work, okay, and things fail. Who are the losers? The people who have invested, they are the losers. Okay, and the bank will take whatever it can, but beyond that, nothing can happen. Okay, so many times, we have this ambition that I'll do a hospital 10 years later. But the question is it really you're going to do an hospital 10 years later, or you're just playing a story so that, it kind of gives you justification for working, practicing for 10 more years. Okay, so if you really want to build a hospital, you don't wait for 10 years, you build it in the next 1 year. Otherwise, that story, that real dream was not a real dream. If 26 people want to build something in 10 years from today, I want to see how many do it in the next 1 or 2 years. They are the guys who really have the dream and the burning desire to do it. The rest, we are just making ourselves happy by saying that we'll do something 10 years from today. Because when the 10th year comes, you'll say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do next day. It will never happen that way.
And one request from our side is give us a small equity in your hospital, so we can also be a part of the journey. So that is the whole idea. So
Thank you so much, all of you.
so thank you all, and thank you, Dharmendra sir, for another exciting, thought-provoking session. I always learn a lot. I think Dr. Sonia is laughing, but no, what we meant is serious. So maybe we also want to be a part of many hospitals.
Yeah, you are saying that there are no, where will I find investors?
Yeah.
You may find investors faster, but
Correct.
build a project first.
And having us in the board will give you a better credibility also in terms of investment and other thing. Let us try to sell ourselves also. So thank you for everybody, and thank you for this nice session. I think today was a very useful day because I started a day with the Dharmendra sir, and I ended the day also with Dharmendra sir. So basically in the morning we were discussing about this reverse benchmarking and all those things. There is a very interesting YouTube video which I saw today by Rory Sutherland. He is the vice president of Ogilvy. So he has given a talk.
Very, very, very smart guy.
Yeah, very nice. I think if you want that thing, you register for the Aftal conference and send me a message. I will send you the link to the YouTube video. And thank you all for being a part of it. And if you have any questions, always we are available and happy to be supportive. And before I end, I think maybe Dharmendra says other businesses also into the financial management. So some of you are already clients of his company Glosum. So if you anybody wants to be managing your finances properly, you can always approach sir. And I have been a part of sir's company, and I have invested through him everything. So basically, all my investments are through Dharmendra sir, and I'm now very free because they take care of it basically, and I don't have to worry about it. And he has got a good team. So if you're looking at investments, mutual funds and all these things, please do connect to us and we'll be happy because our mission is to help around 100 doctors. So basically, so now we have got almost 35 doctors. So we'll be taking in another 65 doctors for the financial freedom journey also. That is another mission of us. And few of you from this group are already with Dharmendra Sir's company, and we'll be happy to have more people to be in part of that journey also. Thank you all and have a good night, and looking forward to seeing you on the Aftal conference, and please do interact with us and let us know how we can make these things better, and always feel free to reach us out. And thank you, Dharmendra sir, and thanks. We had a good participants. I think last time also 33, today also 33. So basically, and in our YouTube channel, this will be posted, so many people continue seeing that.
Just do the editing, because in between we had some disturbances.
Oh, we will do the editing, not an issue.
Thank you. See
Yeah,
you.
good night, good night.
Thank
Good
you
night.
so much, Dharmendra sir. Thank you so much, Senthil sir.
I hope Amit Solanki sir will soon start the LASIK center with the investor.
Let's see, sir.
All the best to you, Dr. Amit.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Hey, good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.